I got a red alert. Pulling up now. Is you ready to go? You know I'm
Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another episode of my How to Be a God or How to Get Better at Call of Duty Black Ops 3 series. In today's episode, we're going to be covering your guys' questions, answering them, and teaching you guys the best tips and tricks you guys need to know to get better at Black Ops 3. This gameplay in the background is from the new DLC. It's the map Cryogen. This one is one of the best, if not the best map from the new DLC pack Descent, and this one is pretty good. I uploaded a few videos about, or one video about the DLC earlier, and about a patch and all that sort of stuff. I covered that earlier or last night, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. If you guys can, please be sure to drop a like on this video. I'd really appreciate if you guys could smash up, every single episode of this series, we've been getting like 4,000, 5,000 likes. So if you guys could smash 4,000 likes on this again, that would be absolutely awesome. And I'll definitely get to doing another series. This series seems to see, or another episode of the series. This series seems to be like the most loved on my channel. So 4,000 likes would be absolutely awesome, and then I'll have another episode of this up. That would be awesome if you guys could smash a like. And let's get right into it. Basically, what this series is because I haven't done one in like 4 or 5 days, is I answer your guys' questions, any sort of question. It's like a question and answer, but not about myself, not what my favorite cat is or something like that. It's all about Black Ops 3 and getting better at Black Ops 3. And leave any questions you guys have in the comment section down below, and I'll get to them in the next episode. Let's get right into the questions and the answers of how to get better at Black Ops 3, alright? First one we have here is it says, when do I use the Scythe Specialist at the right time? And I love this series. Well, thank you for liking this series, Elijah. Basically, when do you use the Scythe Specialist at the right time? Now, this is a very good tip. A lot of people always ask this because it seems like sometimes, especially with the Scythe, it takes like a few minutes to earn a Scythe. You don't want to pull out the Scythe and be at a bad spot in the game where you just get picked off and you basically waste a Scythe Specialist. Basically, the best time to use any sort of specialist weapon, such as a Tempest or a Scythe or something like that, is when you have a hater up in the sky, or at least a UAV or something like that. If you know the enemy's location, especially on the hater, especially with a Scythe or, for example, a Tempest, you have to pre-fire a little bit. With the Scythe, it takes a second for the bullets to get loaded out of the gun, and with the Tempest, it takes a second for the charge to come out of the gun as well. So if you have a hater up in the sky, it's the perfect situation. You call in a hater, you pull out that specialist weapon, and I actually got this tip from my buddy SwagXBL. He says he only uses the Scythe when he has a hater up in the sky, which is actually very smart. However, if you can't get a hater, it's best to do it when you have a UAV or a counter UAV up. Basically, if you know where the enemies are, you can use that Scythe to pre-fire and just get mad quad feeds and stuff like that. And that is the ideal best time to use a Scythe. You basically want to be posted up on a head glitch and know where the enemy's locations are. That's when you're going to want to pull out the Scythe. So hopefully that answers your first question right here. Next question we have right here is from CJ Price. He says, Goblin, when a team has map control and you're getting spawn trapped, what should you do? And it's actually funny. One of the top replies to this comment says leave the game, which is definitely a possibility. If you're getting spawn trapped, the enemies have a bunch of kill streaks on you and you really can't do anything, you might as well just leave the game, especially if you joined in late. You will have the lost stat prevented. However, the best thing to do here, for example, on Nuketown can either be the best map in the game or the worst map in the game. It's the best map in the game if your team has control and you're spawn trapping the enemies, and it's the worst, for example, say I'm playing with a shotgun or an SMG and the enemies have me spawn trapped. What you want to do to get back map control is you need to switch out from an SMG to an assault rifle. And basically how to get map control back if you're getting spawn trapped is you need to switch out to an LMG or an assault rifle or a sniper or something like that, and you need to pick all of the enemies off of their spots. You should have a class probably like an M8A7 with stun grenades, real grenades, and just spam those grenades, spam those headshots with your M8A7 and get the enemies off of their head glitches to get back map control. It is a lot easier said than done. This can be one of the hardest things to do in the game, and most of the time if you're getting spawn trapped, it takes a whole team effort to turn that around. However, you'll see many Nuketown games. I had this live com I think it was like maybe a week ago or something like that, where basically my team was getting spawn trapped and we got destroyed. The enemy got like 90 points up on us or something like that, and then we completely flipped it around. I had the XR2, I was picking people off just like I said, and we flipped that around on Nuketown and ended up winning the game like that. So it's always doable. However, you need to decide if it's worth it, if you just want to leave the game, or if you want to switch to an assault rifle, use grenades to get the enemies off of the map control spots and take control of it for yourself. Next question comes from Brutus the Gamer. He says, what are the best perks? Now, the best perks are basically, every perk is good in a different situation. That's why I have so many videos on class setups. But as far as what are the best perks, there's certain perks that you can never ever go wrong with. And I'll give you a few of these perks. Some of these perks are Flak Jacket. Flak Jacket, you can never go wrong with Flak Jacket. It's always going to save your life at least once or twice a game for the most part. As far as a second perk, the second perk slot, Fast Hands, you can never go wrong with. Fast Hands has the ability to switch to your secondary faster, to aim down sight faster after sprinting, and everyone who plays Call of Duty sprints and gets caught out sprinting at bad situations. Fast Hands and Flak Jacket are things you can never go wrong with, as well as for the third perk slot, I'd say Blast Suppressor or Tac Mask. These are things that could go on any sort of class and work out well. However, if you want to know the best perks for every situation, I have a ton of class setup videos on my channel. You can check out all of those, but you'll never go wrong with the class that just has Flak Jacket, Fast Hands, and then Tac Mask. That can never go wrong, especially for an objective game mode. You'll never go wrong with that class with any sort of gun, and that's what I say for a standard sort of class loadout. Those are the best perks and the most reliable perks in the game, as well as Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is so overpowered. I just find that, like, I sort of feel so vulnerable without having Flak Jacket as a first perk, but Sixth Sense is one that can always help you out on pretty much every map as well. I can get you a few bonus kills every game that you might have missed out on, or you might have not been able to kill the enemies. It sort of acts like a close range UAV for you with Sixth Sense, and it's basically like, instead of using awareness and using your headset to hear the enemies, if you don't have a headset, you can use Sixth Sense and use the mini-map to basically not hear the enemies, but see the enemies' locations around you. A great perk, and all those perks are basically going to be good in every single situation. Now, the next question is from Matt Ernest. He says, what are the best streaks to run in TDM? Now, for TDM is one of those game modes where you're not going to know where the enemies are located because there's no objective. A game mode like Domination, it's so easy. If I have A, B, and the enemies have C, they're going to be at C Dom. You really don't need a UAV to find that out. But in TDM, it's one of those game modes where I always recommend running a UAV to know where the enemies are at. You should run a UAV 100% of the time in TDM, and your other two kill streaks should be situational, ones that you think you're good at. If you think you're good enough to get a UAV Talon Wraith, that could work out. If you think you're better off with a UAV Care Package Lightning Strike, that could work out as well. But UAV definitely always required for TDM. It helps out not just you, but the whole damn team. UAVs are super overpowered, and I find that not many people use Ghost in this game. Like, really, not many people use Ghost, especially in TDM. TDM is one of the lobbies where you're going to find a lot of newbier players or beginner players, and they're not going to be using Ghost for the most part. So I'd recommend running a UAV every single time for TDM. Next tip we have here is from Vulcan Blaze. He says, can you give me some tips on map control? Okay, map control relies all about the spawn systems. For example, in Hardpoint is a game mode that a lot of people think it's about taking control of the hardpoint, which is true, it is. But for the most part, a game mode like Hardpoint is based off of who has the better spawns. If the hardpoint is on the far left side of the map, and my team is spawning right behind the hardpoint, and the other team is spawning way outside on the other side of the map, even if they outslay us on that hardpoint, we're basically going to, because of how Call of Duty works, even if you get killed, you respawn instantly, we're going to still win that hardpoint. And how you can get these map controls is by getting spawns for your team. So basically on a game mode like Domination, if you want to hold A and B and keep the enemies locked at C, you want to make sure you don't push into C. You want to make sure you sit around B and don't overextend on that thing. And that's the same for any sort of game mode. On Hardpoint, if you know where the next hardpoint is going to be, you might want to rotate there early, get control of that next hardpoint, and get control of the back of the map behind the hardpoint, because that's where your team is going to spawn. Once you get, these are kind of advanced tips, and these aren't really for beginner players, but once you get really good at Call of Duty and at Black Ops 3, you start to learn the spawns, especially on certain maps, easy maps that have simple spawns. This map, Cryogen, has very simple spawns. A map like Raid has simple spawns. They always spawn at the basketball court. They always spawn at the back. The garage, a map like Nuketown has very simple spawns as well. And by Raid, I was talking about Empire, by the way, from the new DLC. Once you learn the spawns and you're a very good player, you can learn to control them, and that's basically the tip I'll give you right there. Next question we have here is from Jose. He says, I was a high KD player, but now my KD is lower. How can I improve my game? So this just comes down to a focus thing. A lot of the time when I'm struggling, I like to, stop talking in a party chat to my friends, or stop listening to music while I'm playing and just focus on the game. In a game like Black Ops 3, you can do so much better just by listening and using all of your senses. Now, a lot of people think I play better when I have music on, which for the most part, that's just a coincidence. It's not a fact. You're going to play better when you have 100% of your focus on the game. And for example, if in a game like Black Ops 3, you can hear people slide, you can hear people double jumping, and that can get you some bonus kills. And that's basically how you're going to get back to the state of playing your best, is by, completely putting 100% focus on the game. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section down below any sort of questions you guys have on how to get better at Black Ops 3. I'll do my best to answer them all in my next video, or the most thumbs up ones, or the most important ones that I think I can answer. Anyway, please drop a like on this video. I'd appreciate if you guys could smash out 4,000 likes. That's a huge like goal. Do it for me, guys. Please smash that like button. That would mean absolutely the world to me if you guys could all leave a like on this thing. Thank you guys. I know you guys love this series, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this one, and I'm out. Peace. Have a great night.